Welcome to Mystery Professionals Healing Center, where the welfare of humanity, the welfare of the universe is our concern. In our center, we do divination. I call the soul necromancy. I call the dead to find out exactly what really matters to the dead, whatever they have left, and so on. I also do physical, emotional, and mental healing. I do spiritual coaching as well. So whatever it is, when you come to my abode, I'll be able to call your soul. I'll be able to call your soul. I'll be able to find out your weaknesses, your strength, fortunate occupation, diseases that you are prone to, your lucky mineral stones, your lucky gem, your lucky minerals, your lucky gemstones, and many more about you. Whatever you want to know about yourself, when you come to my center, I'll be able to tell you so that you will know your destiny path, why you came onto this planet Earth, and what you're doing, and how far you've been. Thank God very much for our lives. We've entered into a new year, and in this new year, we have our wishes, we have our wants, we have our desires that we want it to manifest in our lives. But I will first tackle prayer. How do we do a successful prayer? Because whatever you have is your desire, whatever your wants, whatever your needs, whatever you want on this planet Earth, you put it across and you make an effort to acquire it. But there are times that you gain whatever you want. There are times that you have some and you don't have some. So it is a hard time that you know why you get it, you know why you don't get it, and so on. So this time we're going to talk prayer, how to pray, the power prayer, how to do a power prayer. There are ways of communicating to human beings, to the spirits, to the ancestors, to the beings of light, to the ascended masters, to the spiritual ministers, to the archangels, to the healing angels, to animals, to plants. There are means of communicating to them to really help you in all your endeavor. And whatever your wish, your desire, you want to acquire it, you want to get it by all means. Whatever your desire, your wishes, your wants, you want to acquire it by all means. So you must also use by all means way to acquire it. You will have to be very much acquainted with whatever. You see, the way of communicating, some will call it prayer, some meditation, some affirmation, some chanting, some people will call it mantra, tantra, and yantra. Whatever you call it is a way of supplication, is a way of asking something, is a way of wanting an energy, wanting people, wanting spirits to do something for you in return. That is why you do it. But today, I want us to center on 1, 2, 3 things about how you do it so that whatever you want manifests. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. And affirmation is telling the world or programming yourself to a frequency whereby things you need will flow to you, or you become magnet to attract things you want. Mantra are a way of a charged word which is given to you to really help you. And immediately you recite it, you call upon some energy, some entities, knowingly or unknowingly, whether they want it or not. By all means, they must bring what you want for you. And in yantra and tantra is the materials and then your feelings you use, or your emotional feelings you use in doing it. You are communicating with some energy to bring you your want. You're communicating with some sort of beings to bring your want to you. You will have to know a way of communicating to them. You also need certain materials also to help you acquire your desire in a fast-track way. You might need some candles, some incenses. You need gemstones. You need talisman. You need sigils. You need some sort of materials also to help you acquire it. You need a frame of mind to let you acquire it. But there is one simple mistake that most people do, which deter their progress in acquiring what they want. First is prayer. Let us understand prayer. Prayer is talking to God, because you say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down. The Lord is my shepherd. Whatever prayer that you say, Lord God Almighty, attract this for me. Make me magnet to attract. So you are talking to the entity, to the beings, to the ancestors. You are talking to them. But when you talk to them, you refuse to listen to them, because in conversations, anytime you say something, you wait for the other partner to also respond. And by responding, by telling you, by communicating with you as you are communicating with the beings, you refuse to listen. Therefore, that is the first mistake we make. So the first mistake we make in our prayers not being answered is that we refuse to listen. We're communicating with energies, with beings of light. When you say, you ask them whatever you need, you wait for them to answer you. You wait for them. It's a form of communicating. It's not so much of a command. Even when it's a command, you still must listen to your servant. You still must listen to your subordinate. You still must listen to them, to tell them, and then to equip them. Because when you send somebody without a lorry fare, the person cannot go. Whatever the person is to you, be the person a servant or your colleague or your subordinate, when you send the entity or the person without the proper logistics, it will not work. Therefore, it is a hard time that we listen when we are praying. When you say your prayers, it's like you're communicating, you listen. And there are means of listening. We have the 5 senses. You can really see while you use your senses to really get the answer, or to really communicate, or to really hear what the other entity that you are proposing your wishes to tells you. Sometimes you see, sometimes you hear, sometimes you feel, sometimes you taste, sometimes you smell. There are times that you say your prayer, and before you see, you begin to have some fragrance. That fragrance tells you that the meaning of the fragrance tells why you should, or the answer to your prayers. And then you have to be able to know exactly. For me, when I say my prayer, the way you communicate, either with your feelings, with your hearing, with your smelling, with your taste. So this is a way of hearing. This is a way of hearing. This is one aspect that most people fail to do. You will say that you have really prayed for a long time, but you don't have answers to your prayers. It is because you refuse to listen. So let us learn how to listen. This is the first aspect of prayer, mistakes that we make. If we learn how to listen, we'll be able to really have our prayers being answered. 99% of our prayers will be answered when we learn how to listen after prayers. There are times that you want to pray for 1 hour, you just pray for that 1 hour, and then immediately you get up and go without listening to the other party. So when you want to pray for 1 hour, you can pray for 30 minutes and listen to the other side also for the rest 30 minutes. And you will see that it will really, whatever it has brought, whatever you have sent it, it will go and bring it to you. It will realign you to really get it. It will show you the means, the ways. It will change certain molecules in you. It will change certain frequencies. It will realign you to the frequency that will make you to really get what you want. But if you just finish your prayer and you go, you finish your prayer and you don't listen, you give it a hectic task of the spirit acquiring or getting what you want. So our first mistake most people make is not to listen. So all the time when you say your prayer, try to also listen to the other side. Before we are in this new year, what you have to do is that you have to go and call your soul. You have to do divination to call your soul, to really know your destiny path, to know your destiny line, to be able to know what your soul has for you this year, these coming years and the years ahead. The events, the major events that are to occur in your life, maybe if there are calamities, why they will come. If there are difficulties, why they will come. If there is something else, your soul will tell you. So as we've gone into this new year, everybody should endeavor to really check, do some divinations, some soul calling, to really check exactly what we'll have to do to be able to get well. Also, we also must check to feed the soul. Yes, the soul divination will tell you exactly what you have to do, what is in store for you, and the sicknesses, and how you'll be able, the solution for it also will be shown by your soul, what you should do, and so on. So it is very important that as we enter into this new year, we have to just go in for some divination, soul divination, to really ascertain our stand in this planet Earth, and what we have done so far, the remarks for it. That is one aspect, something that is important. Also, you also must write your wishes, your wants, your desire for the year, so that you don't just say that you didn't acquire anything, so that when the year ends, you'll be able to check all of them to find out which one you got and which one you didn't get, and why you didn't get this one and why you got this one. Then you make some soul divination again and do some corrections, and then you move forward. That is how everybody must be. That is one aspect of self-realization. You will have to realize yourself. You have to know yourself. You will have to understand yourself. You have to understand nature, so that whatever it is, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whatever you see yourself, happiness is not rich. Happiness is not poor. It's not given to rich alone. It's not given to the poor alone. Good health is not given to the rich alone. It's not given to the poor alone. Contentment is not given to the rich alone. It's not given to the poor alone. So these are the things that the materials you need. Happiness, blissfulness, living a blissful life, it doesn't require money. It requires mindset. It requires energy to pushfulness. It requires your pushfulness. So it is hard time that we don't just pity ourselves. There are times that you pity yourself. It is not so. Try to really readjust yourself. This very planet Earth, and with this human body, we are in an examination hall. We are in an examination hall. So sometimes when you fail, doesn't matter. Failing doesn't matter. Just pick up and do your correction and move forward. Don't stick to old things. Don't stick to people who are annoying people. Don't stick to things that will derail you from real happiness. Move forward. We are still in prayers. You see that in a prayer, you need to know who you are praying to. Are you praying to your ancestors, the beings of light, the ascended masters, the spiritual ministers, the archangels, the healing angels, or are you praying to the supreme being? You also must know what to channel to whom, and who are the right source that you should be praying to. Mostly people will choose the ancestors. People will choose angels. Whatever it is, you have to really know who you are praying to. Now, praying to somebody or an entity or a being, you need, or you communicating with those energies or beings, you need certain materials to be able to communicate with them. That is me wanting to communicate with you. I have done my video, and you wanting to watch, you go to YouTube, or you get a means of watching it. So there are means of communicating. One is yourself being ready, and your mindset and your emotions, channeling your emotions to be able to really get it well, or to really do it peacefully. So one is you yourself, the mood that you are in, and your feelings, and the way you channel yourself before saying the prayer. All entities require certain form of communication material. Some will require water. Some requires alcohol. Some requires certain higher energies or mantra that will force them to do it for you. That will attract. Anytime you call that mantra, they know that they have to serve you. Then they come. So for you to have those prayer, effective prayer, you will have to know what you want and how you want it, and the energies to channel your prayer to, and then whatever. Because if say you want food, you ask the right source where you can get food. When you want dress, you go to the right place where you can get dress. But you don't channel you want a phone, and then you channel your prayer to a chef in the kitchen. Definitely he will give you only food and will not be able to get you the your desire of the phone. So we need to know when and how we should say our prayers, and who to channel our prayers to. And the mediator, air has been our mediator, and therefore we have to be also friendly with the air, because the air is the mediator. Without air, within some few minutes, all of us will be gone on this planet Earth, or only few will remain. So the air is the mediator, and it is always with us. But merely do we cherish the air. Merely do we try to really associate ourselves with the air. It is the air also that will carry your prayers. The air will carry your prayers to wherever you want it to go. So you will have to also know how to really unite, how to really tune yourself, how to really acquire the friendship of air. before any other thing, because without the air, sometimes your wishes cannot be acquired. So there is a way that we will all have to really tune ourselves to the air. We will come to that also as well. Will come, and then those materials, that are needed, the candles, the perfumes, the incense, the gemstone, and the minerals will also come and then tell you what they mean and when you need those things, and how you should be able to use them in a way that they will be profitable for you, that they will not bring harm to you, that they will bring you your heart desire. It is very good that we say our prayers more fluently. Some people will say that prayers are not necessary. We only must listen. You only must do meditation. It is not necessary. Some will say that prayers are not necessary. You only have to affirm to yourself, program your mind in a way that things will come to you. So even when you are not rich, you will just recite, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. Whereas you yourself inside you, you know that I am not rich. It is said that you are programming your mind. That is the affirmation. So they all have the positive side that they give to us. But all we have to do is what I have telling you. When you are communicating, as I am communicating with you now, you are listening carefully. So when it is a time for you also to comment or to communicate, I just have to keep quiet and also listen or read and then give you an answer. So during communication, you don't distract the other when he's talking or she's talking, or you don't distract the entity when he's talking. You don't distract it when he's bringing something to you. So we must learn how to communicate well with the beings of light so that our desire be answered in a fast track way. Because in this year, all the desires that we want, the good ones, say our health, our wealth, our tranquility, our blissfulness, our marriage, our papers, our whatever we want, our health, our papers must come to pass. Therefore, we must learn how to say a fast track prayer that will bring things to us in a fast track manner. By all means, everything that we desire, the good things that we desire this year must come to pass. God bless you all. Subscribe to my channel, Mystery Professionals Healing Center, and then whatever videos that come, you will have them now and forever. It's very educative. In our next video, we will still be talking on prayer, because the entities that you are praying to, there must be a link between you and them. There must be some mutual friendship. There must be some mutual link between you and those entities. And we also must know how we link. That is what I'm saying, that the mediator, the air, which is the mediator, we have to be able to link with it. And the entity that we are praying to, you cannot just pray to them without knowing them. You cannot just pray to them because it's their duty. You are just praying to them. You need to befriend them. You need to be their friend. You need to be their companion. You need to also give in something to be able to acquire what you want. In our next video, we'll be talking about that one as well. We're talking so many things this year. We'll talk of how to have a healthy relationship physically. Our relationship, most of our relations with others have torn. Our friends, our spouses, our children in the house, we think that they don't respect. The spiritual reasons why these things is occurring, when we learn, we'll be able to rectify it, and we'll have a peaceful home with our children, with our spouses, with our subordinates in the workplace. Thank you very much. God bless you all. I salute the supreme consciousness within you, with all the divine charm of my mind, and with all the love and cordiality of my heart.